So let's begin this cute mini spring painting. As you can see, it's very simple and cute. For this we will need 100% cotton paper, postcard size. I'm using hot pressed, and 3x8 flat brush, number 5 and number 3 round brushes. These are from Princeton, but you can use any. Masking tape and 2 jars of water. And for the color I'll use Crimson Lake, Burnt Umber, Cerulean Blue and Sap Green. Again, the names will depend on what brand you are choosing. So now let's stick the paper on the surface and let's roughly draw an outline for the painting. So here goes the land and then the water, and I will draw a tree over here, roughly just for my idea, just for the sake of the composition. Otherwise it's such a simple painting, you can actually make it without having a sketch. So here I'll have some bushes with red flowers scattered. So we're done. Let's move on to painting. So here I'll start with wet on dry, and I'm painting the sky around the land and the tree with Cerulean Blue, a very light wash, and I'm not making any clouds. With the flat brush, just some not very even. Some patches here and there are fine, and I am letting the paint go inside the treetop also because I want the treetop to blend in with the sky. Now I'll start painting the treetop. So I take Crimson Lake, and now you see I'm pushing the Crimson Lake or my pink color into the sky. I'm going beyond the outline I've made for the treetop because I want the tree to blend with the sky and create that dreamy effect. So here's the first wash of the treetop. Again a wet on dry, and now on this wet paint I will use some more pink. I'll dab in more color with my round brush to create some shadows of the branches and leaves. I'm creating random shadows here and there, just little dabs, and I won't overdo this. And now I'm adding some blue in it, so the blue and pink will merge together and become purple. So the same blue of the sky I'm using here on the treetop. And now again some darker value of pink. There's actually no such rule about painting. It's about the flow. Like, you just go on painting in the flow, take a break, step back, look at the painting, and then go ahead. So here I am going to paint the grassland, and this will be a wet on wet. So I am making the surface wet just around the water. I'm not touching the water area yet. And with my sap green, I'll just give it a grassy feel like this, dabbing the color here and there. And you see this distribution of color on this paper because this paper is smooth and it's hot pressed. If you are using a rough grain cold pressed paper, the finish will be different. All right, so you see this, I'm making some shadows of the grass here and there, dabbing some more sap green around the lake and over the horizon line. And when I feel it's enough, I'll just stop and let it dry. In this corner, I have decided to make some grass and bushes. So here I'm giving some grass strokes while the paint is still wet, darker ones, just some random straight strokes, and that's it. Now I'm fine with this bushy patch. I will wash my brush and with clear water I will make the lake area wet. So I am slightly touching the edge of the grass land, and you see a little bit of green is coming into the lake, which I am okay with. It's a very small area, so don't use a lot of water, just dab extra water in the paper towel or cotton cloth. And here I am making the water blue because of the blue sky, because you see water has no color, it's all the reflection of the surroundings, right? So here's the pink from the tree and the blue from the sky in the water, and it looks pretty to me, and I'm not going to disturb it. Now let's work on the bush and the grass. The paint is still not dried and it's still wet to work on, so I'm not getting the desired effect. So now it's dry. I let it dry for some time and you can see it's dried. Now I will work on the finer details. So first of all, the branches and the tree trunk, I have taken burnt umber for this. That's it. Make it a little dark. Use the darker value of brown. And now with the fine brush, let's take some green, darker green, and make the grass on the dry surface of the painting. I'm starting my strokes from the masking tape. There. and I'm lining the edges of the lake a little bit, giving it some darker green shadows, giving the impression of grass and all. And here, making this edge also dark. And here's some more shadows and more depth of grass in the field. If you want, you can give some tiny blades of grass like that at the horizon line. So very lightly with light strokes you can make grass at the horizon line also. Like that. And if you find it too childish, you can just skip that step. And now again make some more grass at this corner. So multiple layers of grass blades until you're finally okay with this. And now let's tap some red dots here and there to imitate the flowers, wildflowers in the bush. The green is wet, so the red will merge very quickly. So we can just build up the color and make them look nice and bright. And that's it. With this, the painting is ready. Once it's dried, we'll remove the tape at an angle. But before that, we have to make sure that the painting is completely dried. So there goes the third one. It's stuck. Yeah, it goes. I really like the water. I really like the way the water has turned out. And there, your fresh, bright, cute little spring painting is ready. I hope you liked this process, this project, and let's move on to the other one.